Okay, so Saliha today will present us the presentation about who was her role model in English. Yes.
Yeah.
So let's begin. Welcome.
Yes. Hi everybody again. Today I'm going to tell you about a little bit interesting and as well simultaneously unique adventure in English scope. So let's get started.
Okay.
Well, it wasn't secret that I was a language girl since my school years. I remember like before first class, we were attending the school. I remember that from Uzbek schools, there were some teachers, staffs who came to suggest me to go to the Uzbek class. I was so excited about that, and I agree like 100% because all of my friends were in that Uzbek school. However, my mom said that I will go definitely to Russian school.
Okay.
I was so upset. I didn't want to go to that Russian school because I didn't know it, and I went to the Uzbek kindergarten. So there was really not like known sphere, let's say. So however, after some years, my teacher said that I was so talented and in Russian and in English. And since my young age, I went to some Olympiads, to some contests, which I held like really great places. So, so next page, please. However, like coming to high school era, let's say, I realized that I just stopped in one, let's say, level. I wasn't that interested in English anymore. I just wanted to hang out with my friends, and I was satisfied from that level, like in the middle. And because I think that's because I didn't really have people who were like more like much better than me. So I didn't have any motivation, and I didn't have like the thing that was holding me in that English sphere. So after that, next please. I said like it's a little bit different because I didn't have anyone. So after, I can't remember how I came to that industry, but it might sound unserious for some people, but that pop industry played a tremendous role in my way to English.
Okay.
I started like listening to music, not only K-pop, just pop or just hip hop, maybe just some songs and movies, and I started being interested in that sphere, and I was seeing myself in English, and I saw how I was like interested in, and everything started working like in another way, and I started and I started that English was mine. So after some time, next please. Yes, and I watched some reality shows, maybe some variety shows where they go. And actually I was watching them in Russian subtitles, but after some time I realized that I want to feel them. I want to the emotions that they're giving in original way, not in just subtitles. And after that, I tried and I started working on myself, and I went to some learning centers, and I had my really great teachers. And sometimes I started understanding them, like by watching without subtitles, because they mostly gave an interviews in English. So that was really interesting in me. And so next, please. And I realized that I was like, I had my role model. Like there wasn't my mother or my teacher. She was that girl.
Okay.
I really always tried to, let's say, portray her.
Okay.
Like her accent, her like emotions while she's speaking in English. She wasn't even like native, but I always tried to have her accent. So I think that because of that, I have some like not that much, but great compliments because of my accent and my fluency. And we can see how she can speak with native singers like Billie Eilish, or she went to the United Kingdom and she met with president, and she can speak with them, with native speakers, without any interpreters. So that made me, that influenced me so much. And after that, I started having like Australian mixed with British accent.
Okay.
Like actually at the start, I had really strong American accent with R. But after that, I realized the majestic accent of her, and I just automatically started speaking in that accent. And I think that you don't have to have someone to influence for something. You have to just know your way of being influenced. Actually, how I said that I didn't have anyone to be influenced, actually, because I lived in, let's say, district, so there wasn't that much opportunities for us to learn English or to have someone and be influenced. However, after coming, like starting in Fergana City, I saw so many people who are just have that many achievements. And in that time, I regret that I didn't know the kind of, let's say, programs or the kind of people, the kind of accents. So I think that I'm really grateful right now that I started that English sphere with that way, like that unique, but that was so useful, so beneficial for me. So I think that, yeah, in conclusion, I want to say that, yes, you don't have to have someone. You have to just have yourself and the thing that will influence you. So yeah, I think it's all. Yeah, so yeah, that was the transition of my life.
Okay, so your interest, yes, can be that with a source, yes, of inspiration.
Definitely.
For you to learn something, yes, related to your work, future work, right? Okay, great. So, okay, girls, do you have any questions? No? Okay, I do have some. Yeah, I'm just interested, yes?
Wow.
It's very unusual when, you know, non-native speakers of English influence you, yes? But at the same time, it also makes sense because I think, Saliha, you have seen, yes, those celebrities from Korea, yes, using English freely. And you realized maybe, yes, that you can do the same, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, so it's safe to say that, you know, these celebrities, they kind of had some effect, yes, on your motivation, right?
A lot.
Okay, great. So, and another question: do you have any celebrity right now, a famous person at the moment, who also motivates you in life in general, maybe in further, you know, studies of English?
Well, I would say that there are a lot, like, because I'm really interested in, let's say, Hollywood scope. Like, I'm really interested in celebrities and all of my reels, all of my shorts about them. I would say that Billie Eilish. Like Billie Eilish. Who else? I am currently really interested in Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
Like, I'm listening to his music and they're so inspiring. Yeah, I think that Billie Eilish currently, but it changes a lot, like every time. So yeah.
Okay, awesome. And what's your next plan? What do you want to do? What's your next step that you would like to achieve?
There are a lot. Like, I'm planning to do a lot of stuff, a lot of things. For example, like applying for a lot of programs or just doing exchange students programs, attending a lot of conferences for students and having a lot of opportunities that our country giving us. And maybe in the future, I'm going to go to study master's degree in another country, and I'm planning and I'm searching for them. So I would say that, yeah, a lot of things are waiting for me.
Yeah, this is great. And, you know, I'm sure that with your passion, with your consistency, you will, of course, achieve what you would like to. I mean, like, it just depends, I guess, yes, on whether you really like it, you really want it, yes, or not. So, you know, great. So good luck to you in your future achievements.
Thank you so much.
Okay, welcome. And thank you too for your interesting story. Yeah, thank you. Okay, great. This is our presentation. Sarvinos will now share her story. Welcome.
The person who inspired me to learn English. Actually, I thought a lot about this theme. I couldn't think of anyone else. It could be celebrities or some characters from movies. I thought a lot, and the only person who came to my mind was my brother. It sounds weird, but no one else came to my mind, so I chose him eventually.
Okay.
So, next one. My first steps in learning English. My brother is 4 years older than me. So when he started learning English, I was just a little kid. And he always downloaded English movies and cartoons to our computer. And I was just totally free back then. And I think I was inspired by how confident he was in his English and how he fluent was he in English and everything. So I started to feel some closeness to English and started, even if I didn't understand anything at first, I kept watching those movies. I didn't understand anything. I didn't understand. I didn't even know the basics back then. But after rewatching it dozens of times, I started understand the meanings. And you know what's interesting? Without even realizing it, I used the shadowing technique. I learned the dialogues and just mimic the manners of their speech, and I think it helped me a lot with my pronunciation. You know, it wasn't difficult to pronounce the words even if I read them for the first time. And when I officially started learning English, actually, so it helped me a lot. So next one, please. And joining an English center. Well, I joined an English center. I started learning English, but I already could actually speak English back then. With that, without being taught with anything, I just watched those movies and learned how to speak. So when I just started learning English, my brother already took IELTS exams, so he got 6.5. And my next motivation was surpass him. I tried to get 7+.
Okay.
And I tried. Can you just?
Yep.
Can you? I tried hard and really hard. I studied. I wanted to surpass him. He was always one step. I was always one step behind him.
Okay.
I wanted to beat him this time. So and for the before taking exam. The last 2 or 3 months, I studied from 6 a.m. till 9 and 10 p.m. Can you imagine that? It was terrific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. I studied this much. I studied self-study.
Okay.
I did a self-study, so I didn't want to suffer. I didn't want people to tell me you should have gone to some learning centers instead.
Yep.
So I didn't want to hear that and studied extra hard than others and got 7. I was happy because I could surpass my brother.
Okay.
This time.
There was sibling competition here.
Yes,
right? Sibling rivalry. Yes. How it is called. Okay, great.
He moved me to try harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to show off my skills that I'm better at English, better at something than him. So. That's how it was.
And I think that we have to give a credit here because I think that most of the skills that you got, it's because of your self-study, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
for an entire year, I did a self-study.
Yeah, that speaks volumes. It's first of all, it's not very easy to force yourself sometimes, to do it consistently. And of course, without navigation sometimes of a teacher or somebody, yes, who has experience is even more difficult. That's interesting and that's really, worth attention and respect, of course, right? So, well, should we go to the next one?
Okay, yeah. I just forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did it.
Yeah, and okay, that's great. So, and it seems like your sibling is the number one motivation to you, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's interesting because, usually when siblings do something, we try to do something different, compared to them. But in that case, Sarvinos was influenced in a positive way. Yes, you took up the same, thing that your brother was doing. May I ask something about your brother? What does he do now at the moment?
He is in Korea right
Oh,
now.
great.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's good.
South Korea in Seoul.
Okay.
And he studies IT. He majors in
Okay,
IT.
okay. Awesome, awesome. And of course, his knowledge of English and Korean, yes, eventually it will, you know, help him a lot. Yes, in that, absolutely. So, well, and so another question that I have here is that what do you think about self-study? Yes. What tips would you give to the people who really want to study something on their own? Because sometimes it is better, yes, for them. They may find their own learning style, their own habits, they stick to them, and they kind of are good about it. So what piece of advice would you give to those people who want to study English and they want to study it themselves?
You know, first of all, they need to find the method that they would enjoy. You know, I could do it entire days,
Okay.
like for a whole day, because I found a way that I enjoyed it. You know,
Okay.
I used the only techniques that I like really liked, and didn't do the things I didn't like.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's the only thing.
Okay.
And my takeaway from this journey
Yeah.
is if you try hard and if you like set your mind to something, you can do it.
Yeah. It doesn't matter, yes, what happens. If you are consistent about something, if you are passionate, I think, Fergana, that you were really passionate about the things that you learned.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially listening, reading.
Oh,
and I got
yeah.
8 from both of them.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely. And you know what helps us when we have something personal to connect to? As I understood, your first experience of English was about watching movies in English. And you know, sometimes we may not understand even something, but we already are inspired. We maybe like the language itself and we want to learn it. Yeah. So you know, this is a very important step. Not to be alienated from the object, but being attracted to it. So I have another question. Do you still watch movies in English?
Yes,
Okay.
I almost always watch it in English.
That's great.
And anime and other stuff, I watch it in English because I enjoy it. I love, at first, when I was a kid, I watched them because they sounded flashy and cool
Yep.
in English. Yeah.
Yep.
They pronounce words and different. It was different when I watched in Russian and Uzbek, and it was an entire different world when I watched it in an original language.
Yeah.
So that's why.
That's great.
Keep
That's
watching
great.
them.
Yes, you know, I think that we all need to have this habit. Yeah, to watch, you know, in English if it is available, because we have an opportunity to do it. You know, we can feel the characters speaking like they speak. Yes, without being translated or whatever, because you know certain meaning is lost here. Yes, non-verbal, verbal. So you know, and when we watch in original, yeah, this is different. The experience is different, and of course, it's practice. Yes, it's practice. I always do like this as well. You know, I just don't wait for the local release of a film. If it is available in English, I just watch it in English straight. That's why I never go to cinemas. Because cinemas, they only, run movies in Russian, let's say. For example, Marvel movie, right? Let's go to watch Ant-Man. I cannot. Why? Because it's in Russian. I want to watch it in English. Yeah, that's the problem. So, that's a great thing, that we are able to do it. And, if you really like something, I think that you can do despite any circumstances, you just need to be consistent and you need to like what you do, right? Yeah. Okay. What about you girls? Do you have any questions? Welcome. Questions are welcome. Yes? No? Really? Okay. So let's applause. I think that's a great story, Sarvinos, and we all wish you good luck in your further things, in the further, steps that you would like to take. So thank you so much for your story.
Me too.
Welcome. Welcome. Okay. Okay. Great. Awesome.